Happy August, everyone! I always look forward to this month since it marks the start of planner season for me, as Hobonichi starts to release photos of their products throughout the month, and I have been purchasing them for the past 2 years, so this is always marked in my planner. If you're interested to hear some of my initial thoughts and plans for the 2026 Hobonichi purchases, feel free to skip to the last clip of the month using the timestamps listed in the description of the video. And now to catch up on what I've been doing on screen. So as part of my planning for a new month, I like to make a small vision board with a few photos I print off of regular printer paper. I keep this in the front of my planner, but once the month is over, I move it back to the monthly calendar layout for that month. In addition, I add my goals for the month, any books I would like to read, and social media posts I want to film in or surrounding the monthly calendar. Even though I did set it up for this month, I haven't been referencing the information that I put here for the past few months, or as much as I have the past few months, so I am thinking about maybe making some changes for September in regards to this monthly layout. I recently found out that a few of the beauty brands I like to use for my hair care, skincare, and body care are offering some sort of subscribe and save feature, where essentially you subscribe to receive a certain amount of their products on a certain frequency for a discounted price. I decided to make a mind map to get all of my thoughts about this on paper, which was really helpful to make my own decision. Plus, now I can reference back to this when I actually subscribe to certain of the products, since I marked what each have. So like if it's like a 10% off discount, if there's free shipping, if there's samples included, just to make it really easy. Here I am setting up my planner for week 32. However, since this was a busy week finishing my current course term for my master's degree, there wasn't much to add to my planner besides a few tasks in my habit tracker. Once I start to actually complete some of my remaining schoolwork tasks, I will be able to add more to the layout based on my time available. I tend to do a quarterly deep clean in my room every start or end of the season, so I decided to add the list to my planner. Since I was taking the month of August to do this deep clean, this would help me see what I had left to do when I found pockets of time when I wasn't working on my schoolwork. I could just reference this list and see what was left. After the month is over, I like to use a page in the back of my planner to recap the month. I like to note down what I watched, listened to, and read during the month, as well as any additional details I might want to remember in the future when flipping back to this page. This is also a great way to see what I did consume that month and what changes I might want to make for the following month ahead. After decorating my old reading log, traveler's notebook inserts from 2023 and 2024 last month, I was finally ready to tackle my current reading related inserts. I have a reading log where I document every book that I read, whether it's a physical book, ebook, audiobook, or novella. I then have a fan fiction log where I document all of my fan fiction that I read. Since this is a Traveler's Company notebook cover, there's only 2 strings, so I need to use the bands from Traveler's Company to allow me to add this third insert, since I currently had this just in a box since I wasn't using it, but I've been getting back into fan fiction recently. And lastly, I have a reading journal, which is where I can journal about any reading related topics, like a book tag, or maybe there's a book to movie adaptation I want to compare. For each insert, I made a little label with just some paper to mark what type of insert it is, the date that I started and finished if I already know, and then I just decorated with some silver stickers, either stars, letters, or numbers, and then some Megan Rhiannon icons. This upcoming term, I'm taking one of my more difficult and time-consuming courses that are part of my degree. In order to help me stay organized, I wanted to add a task list of what I need to do each week to make sure nothing is forgotten. While this doesn't include every single one of my tasks detailed, this is the majority of what I'm looking to check off each week. For example, I'm not writing every single article or lecture that I need to read and watch, as I'm keeping that in my Google Calendar, but this is just to make sure that I'm turning things in. If you're planning to purchase from Hobonichi this year from the 2026 lineup, then maybe you are spiraling along with me. While I know that I want to purchase a Hobonichi Weeks to use as my main planner, I am struggling to pick out which one. Back on August 22nd, I just needed to get some thoughts out on paper and made a mind map to help me think through whether I wanted to get a Hobonichi Weeks Mega or Standard version. 2025 was my first year using a Hobonichi Weeks Mega, which was needed since I did a lot of experimenting in those note pages and just how I use my planner in general compared to the 2 previous years in a standard version, so I needed those extra pages, which was why I switched to a Mega at the end of January / start of February of this year. And that was really needed, and I know I'm going to surpass the 70-ish pages that are in the standard version. For those unfamiliar, the only difference really between the Mega and the standard version is the Mega has about 215 pages, while the standard has about 60 to 70. It might change depending on the year, but there's essentially twice as much pages in the Mega. But ultimately, when the full lineup dropped the last week of August, and there were just really no true plain neutral weeks options for the Mega, it really got me thinking about moving back to a standard size. My favorite color is black, and a lot of my accessories therefore are also black. So even though there were 2 blue options that I liked in the Mega version with the fabric cover, they really just would not go with the 2 Hobonichi Weeks covers that I do own, which I know that would bug me that they wouldn't look well together, since I do really like to use the covers in addition to clear covers. And I am not really looking to buy a new cover just to use it for 1 year, so this has kind of left me stumped. I was really hoping they would do another gray like this year, since I really love the color so much, even if it was just a different variation. And while they do have a black, it's a sneakers week, which I'm not a fan of. I much prefer the fabric version, especially since I do like the overhang from the cover, since I feel like it just protects the pages a lot more. And the sneaker, I feel like it just kind of floats when you use it with some of the zip covers. Plus, with the new tariff situation, at least for US customers, it seems like no matter where you buy from this year, we're probably going to get affected, as some of the US retailers will probably just absorb the tariffs into the upfront costs, similar how they've done with previous years, where the shipping costs from purchasing directly from the Hobonichi store in Japan, they just would absorb that cost, which is why there was always a little bit of price difference from when you looked at the Hobonichi website versus US retailers. And just due to this, I just want to be a lot more mindful about the stuff that I'm purchasing this year. Not that I'm not in previous years, but I just know how those tariffs are definitely going to be influencing how much I am purchasing, just because things are just obviously going to be more expensive. And based on the research I've done, it seems like certain items not made in Japan will have higher tariffs compared to those made in Japan, which could have something like up to 15% in tariffs. But we truly won't know until September 1st when the new rules get put in place. And I'll be sure to update you all on this in September on how shopping went and the prices of things and how much tariffs I have to pay. But ultimately, I plan to still purchase directly from the Hobonichi website, but things could change since I will be posting this before the launch, and I'm filming this the last week of August. I would be curious to know if you will be purchasing from Hobonichi, what items you are looking to buy, and where you will buy them from. I know everyone is really curious about how to navigate the tariffs with the limited information we currently have, but I wish everyone luck with their Hobonichi and planner shopping this year.